I know I've been messing you all around, but I need to know this is working in the right way first before I tip it and hopefully get it to pick up the angle that I need. So yeah, it's doing my head in today, this is. Right, I'll just wait to see if anybody turns up so you can give me a hand, folks. Hiya, mate. Is it horizontal or is it coming down vertical on your screen? So I'm just kick you off once. Yeah, it's because I'm been bloody trying to sort it out. So horizontal, so it's perfectly all right for you to see everything that I've got in my background and everything. All good. Right, I'm just going to see if I can flip the camera, Sean, and we can get down to my painting desk. Right, how's that looking, Sean? Right, cool. Thanks, mate. It's been an absolute nightmare to sort this out. So let's see if anybody else joins us tonight. Oh, bugger, I need to change that. Bear with me, folks. Do chat amongst yourselves if anybody else comes on. I've got to change the paper in there. What a nightmare of an evening. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Right. Has anybody else turned up, Sean, at all while I've been to and froing? Right, folks, I'm back. Excuse me. Just looks like you, Sean, on chat at the moment. Right. I'll get on with something now. Oh, there's a second person here. Hello, whoever that is. Do say hi. Right then, folks. Sorry I've had to mess around a bit. It's been an absolute nightmare sorting this out tonight. You all know I'm not very good at this sort of stuff, so yeah. So here we go. What have we got on tonight? Right. Some of you would remember earlier on in this month I went across to Wargames Foundry. Hello, what's receiving paint today? Right, I'm just explaining. Right, I went over to Foundry beginning of the month to bring out your lead, and I bought a pack of figures that was released for that weekend, and they are now able to purchase them online. So I thought I'd start doing a few this evening. And they are, if you can see that all right, I don't know whether it's focusing. There you go. Oh, bloody neck. Yeah, can't tell I'm still a novice at this. So they are the Bretonian Spearmen. I think these were never released. They were supposed to have come out in the late 80s when the others are around. And here's one I've already started. So it's all good. So Ben Wardy, that's what I'll be painting this evening. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll probably continue with this one actually. God. It is annoying when you don't know what you're doing. I can paint, but I can't do photography stuff or bloody camera stuff at the moment. So anyway, we'll carry on with them, I think. I'm going to do the Gambeson next. So to do that, I'm going to use 3 colours from Two Thin Coats. Not all of you will have them, but that's what I'm using at the moment. I'm sorry if I keep getting away at camera, folks. I'll do my best not to. This is a new angle. It keeps focusing like whatever. So, but yeah, so we'll do it best I can. I'm sorry if things are a bit skew-if. I'm hoping to get a new stand at some point this week or next week, which should, he says, should make things easier. So yeah, we've got that, those 3 paints there, and we need Agrex Earth shade or any brown shade will do. So why is it not focusing very well? Sorry about this, folks. Do bear with me. Right, how's that? Is that sort of all right? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I hate technology. So first things first, dust bowl is what we're going to do. As a base coat for all the Gambeson. This you can definitely use for historical figures as well. Let's take that in a bit closer. There you go. Yeah, I managed to do stuff when I'm doing stuff pre-recorded, But at the moment, this is just, yeah. I just hope it turns out right when it comes to going up as a video and not at a strange angle. Anyway, so it's dust bowl. Normal size brush. And away we go. Oh, hang on. Got to put my extra specs on. Well, I'm not really with it today, sorry folks. Ask me any questions as well, and I'll keep trying to look at the comments while they're painting. So here we go then folks, starting on the gambeson. I always say to folks, and I'll always say it, that I don't claim to be the world's best painter. All I'm doing this for is to keep my interest in painting going. It gives me a focus, but I don't, mind sharing anything with folks, war games related. No. So yeah, I'm just filling out all the gambeson at the moment. Everybody could see that. There you go. I really am sorry about the quality of the videoing. I need to sort it out. There's probably some settings somewhere where I can just fix the camera, but I'm only using an iPad, so it's a bit of a nightmare. I might even be at complete wrong angle for camera to be working properly. Like I say, I ain't got a clue. So anyway, let's just keep going with this. Just filling the gambeson in. Yeah, I've had to go change this to be able to get painting done. Did that while it was live because I'm such a professional. Yeah, so these two thin coat paints are okay. The only issue I have is the same as any other drop of pipette bottle. You end up with stuff gouling up the drop of pipette. It all gets caught up in the lid, all that palaver. But as paints, pretty nice paints to be fair. Oh, I don't know, okay, this keeps focusing in and out. If you've got any suggestions, anybody who does this, please leave it something in the comment for me. Much appreciated. Just bear in mind I'm using a tablet, so I don't know much about settings or anything in that. So yeah, if you're doing medieval figures, this is one way of doing your gambeson. There's other colours you can use, but tonight I'm just doing it in this colour, mainly because it's colours I've got to hand. And it's stuff people, I think, can relatively easy get hold of. I've managed to touch the belt already, but we ain't worried too much about that because that can be corrected later on. I'm not disappearing off screen, I hope. So, I was looking at these chaps on their site. They are lovely sculpts. Yeah, I do recommend them, mate. It's one of those hidden treasures that they've got over there. They've got quite a lot of stuff still sorting through. I don't know the full ins and outs. I believe these were in some of the moulds that Brian had when he left. And they've got loads of them across at Foundry. They've done quite a few releases of some of the old Citadel stuff, but I think this one was a great star find that they had, to be fair. I'm impressed. I would say just left them on the slot base as well, which means they'll fit in really nicely with the other slot base stuff, of which I'll show you some in a bit. I've got some new ones that were released, even though they're very briefly on the market. These are a bigger scale than the Foundry 100 Years War figures. Not far off, but these are a bit more chunkier. Like I said, they've got the slot base on them, so they match with the earlier ones that were around in the late 90s. But to be fair, the ones that came out in the 90s aren't far off them as well. So I found in amongst my stuff today as well the army list that were for 4th edition, and it has a Bretonian army list in there. So you're playing 4th edition, I could probably play it, or 5th edition, because it's virtually the same rules. The only thing that it doesn't give in there is what magic you can use, but I should imagine one of them be battle magic. I don't know what others they've been able to use, because there was never a army book done for them in 4th edition. Then I had to wait till 5th edition for an army book to come out. I'll take it, I'm off screen again. Yeah. So yeah, it all changed then. I mean, I've got some books or some white dwarfs that had some lovely artwork done for the Bretonians at the time, and there was a game they were going to develop called Chivalry. The Chivalry thing was in one of the white dwarfs as well. There's a nice setup on the rear of one of the white dwarfs as well with Bretonians. So yeah, some good stuff. Well, we still have 2 in the chat. It was a bit late in letting folk know, and I bet some people were trying to tune in while I was busy messing about. So I'm just hoping when this uploads, it'll go on the screen perfectly all right without it being at a strange angle. So, but hey ho, we shall see. So that's the base coat done. So just let that stand a little while. So, are you painting anything tonight, Sean? Ben Wardy, what are you doing, mate? Are you painting, or are you just listening or watching? It's nice to have some interaction with you fellas. My screen's do my nutting. So you can actually get a brown wash from Tooth and Coats, but what I'm going to do is use the Agrax one because it's at hand. I think the Agrax one flows a bit more different and isn't quite so dark. But hey, it does the same job. Yes, I'm using it on a wet palette, so I can't be bothered to get my other palette out. But all it does is fractionally thin it. Nothing too major. So what we do now is the same old thing. Drop it over the figure Make sure it sits nicely in the creases. Yeah, this flow's completely different to the Duncan Rhodes set. To be fair, the Duncan Rhodes ones are quite good actually. So it's just washing over the top of that. So we'll just let that dry a little while. Yeah, don't know why my lighting's not very good on here. Oh, you're painting Vikings, are you? Garage Goblins. You're looking at North Star Sight while my wallet prepares itself. The Pulp Figures by Bob Murch. Might be in the basket lol. Yeah, they're not bad figures, to be fair. It's not something I've oops, here we go. It's not something I've chased up much myself, is the North Star and the pulp stuff. I know it's quite popular with folk. So yeah, I'm hopefully getting this stand, folks, so we can make angles a bit better. Touch wood. It's just working things out how to set this up. You put it on one and other way, and then it just goes. Bleh. So anyway, here we go. Here's one of the original Games Workshop ones at the time, in the late 80s. And there's one of them from Foundry that's just been released. And as you can see, they're approximately the same size. So that looks a bit more chunkier. I mean, here's one of the slender ones. But if I pick this one up here, another one of the spearmen, and we put him at the side, even though he's crouched, he's still quite the same build. Yeah, so I'm busy painting a unit up of spearmen, to be fair, for the Bretonians. We'll be able to use them for various other things as well. But yeah, quite looking forward to that. I'm thinking of taking part in the painting thing that's, was it not Crown of Command? Something of Crown, the painting thing on one of the Facebook's pages. Yeah, they are nice figures, sure, to be fair. People think they're a bit steep at 8 for 20 quid, but only makes them £2.50 each. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody buys them and puts them as rare on eBay, claiming they're old Citadel rares, but wanting stupid price for them, because there are people like that out there, I'm afraid. So we did have 3 people on at one point. We dropped down to 2. So hey ho. So how's the wallet going, Ben Wardy? Or Ben Waddy, or whichever way you want to call it. So mine's going to take a bit of a battering of it next few weeks. Got so much I need to do and get. So hopefully to get together with Sean soon. We can go gaming, mate. Even if it's for either a bit of Warhammer. Definitely have to get some games in for the pillage rules. Right, this will be a slow, tedious job, but I don't know whether you can see on there, I'm starting to repaint the lines in on there. I really can't get over how rubbish the lighting is tonight. I don't know if it's because I'm at this different angle or what. I get so frustrated with things. I've not been in the greatest of moods, to be fair, all day. Yeah, I'm trying to leave the shade in the line bits, in the narrow lines. Some of it, some of these areas haven't got a deep enough crease, but it's pretty easy to guess where it is. Just a steady hand. Yeah, sorry it was such short notice. I was going to do one last night, but there was a live stream chat on. I like to watch that. So fortunately that one. But, yeah, I think I should have used the Duncan Rose Too Thin Coats wash. It probably would have dried a bit different. Stood out more against the original colour. Oh, for those who don't know, sorry, I've just gone over now with the original base colour, which was that Dust Bowl from Too Thin Coats. So all I'm really doing is redefining the panels that are within the gambeson. So, yeah, a lot of reenactment gambesons tend to be done in like a canvas linen colour. They don't stay like that for long, because obviously all the oil off your mail, if you wear mail, soon gets onto the gambeson and it turns black. So yeah, you look lovely and pristine, but as soon as you put a bit of metal on, your mail, boy, do you know about it, your kit becomes a mess. Can everybody see all right? Because I've got the text of the chat. Basically, where the camera is, where you guys are watching, so I can't fully see what's what. I've been online today while doing a bit of painting. I haven't done much. And on YouTube, and I was watching Drew from Sator Art Miniatures, or Sator Art Studios, sorry, and he was talking about his new Frost Giant, which is more like a Norse Giant, which I must admit, folks, is a really, really nice model. Very tempted to get one, to be fair. It might have to be. His dwarves that he's done recently are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we are overdue again. Thankfully, my natural indecisiveness keeps my coffers safe. Brilliant. I think he says just there. There we are. Can't tell much. Next time, note to self: use the Duncan Roads one. So anyway, that's that bit done. So we're going to highlight that now with sandstone. So what's your main sort of thing to do with wargaming and Ben Wardy? Or Waddy? I know myself and Sean, excuse me, play fantasy and historical. My favourite historical, really, well, I've got two favourites, is English Civil War and Wild West, and then some ancient stuff, but I haven't got much of that, to be fair. Excuse me. Yeah, so, and then obviously there's fantasy that we play. Heresy to some, but wargaming is wargaming is wargaming. I'm not a big fan of the new rules. We've tried to play them and I think they laid out like something unreal. It doesn't read very well neither. It's quite vague on some things, which is very annoying, especially after you sunk the money into getting the rules. This is starting to show up better against the other colour. So all I'm doing is picking out the higher bits, leaving some of the old colour showing, enhancing some ridge marks basically. I bounce around everywhere, up scales and down scales, then through most periods. I do have large dark Africa and a 15mm sci-fi collection. Cool. Darkest Africa, that was something I've always been interested in, to be fair. Never got around to doing it. I had a look to see if the Congo rules were still available at Foundry, and they're not, which is much to my annoyance. I know I should have gone when they were around more. I don't know whether it's ever going to get re-released again, but yeah, that did pique my interest at one point. I've got some figures laying around for it, but as I say, never got the bloody rolls. It's a bit of a pain in the bottom. Yeah, this is a slow bit now, folks, doing this. Absolute nightmare. Yeah, it's just a matter of being gentle, steady-handed, keeping your hand steady. My bottom hand is on the table, and then obviously my other hand I'm painting, but that is on the edge of the table at the moment, trying to keep control of the brush as we work through. to work around a section at a time. Why is that a lot stronger than that? Oh, conundrum. So, yeah, this is one of the slow parts of doing these with canvas. And so, I mean, you could probably do it with a different colour and just put a wash over it, make it battle ready, but just, yeah, I'm a nutter. Oh. There we go. So, who's the third person on? It's nice to know who's on here. If you don't want to reveal yourself, that's fine. I'd like to know who the regular folks are, or if you're new. It's always nice to find out who's in the community that follows. Yeah, let me know if you're UK based, America, or wherever you are in the world. So, it'd be nice to know. I know where Sean lives. Yeah, where there's plenty of sheep and strange people. I don't mean Scotland neither. Take that back, folks. If anybody from Scotland, it's a joke. So, this is tedious. Whose idea was this? Steadily working his way around. Yeah, if I keep disappearing off, I'm sorry. It's just it's difficult for me to paint in this position at times. That's why I want to get a different stand if possible. We'll see. Oh dear. Congo is quite fun. Cavalier might have a copy. Yeah, I'll get in touch with Dave. See if he's still got any copies left. Sound geezer is Dave. Known him a long time. Through doing reenactment as well. Many moons ago. So he was on Parliament side. And then he ended up joining Scots Brigade at some point. So, yeah, nice bloke is Dave. Time I see him at a show, he's always busy. Try and speak to him when I can, but obviously making books is better than chatting. But yeah, I'll catch up with Dave at some point. In fact, I might actually give him a call at some point as well. So, got a lot of time for Dave. He's one of them genuinely nice blokes, to be fair. And his warehouse, stock room, whatever you want to call it, shop. It's more like a stock room. It's not far away down the road neither. So probably have to drop him a call, say I'm on my way down. I haven't seen him for a while. Saw him at last partisan. Said hello briefly to him. But yeah, he was rather busy. And used to make some of my kit actually. I'm sure his wife's called him. can't bloody remember now. So out of touch with things. So there you go, folks. That's that done. It looks a bit of a bodge at the moment. So I say, look different again in a bit. So that's the second colour. And then we're going to highlight that. Nuisance. Highlight that with Tooth and Coat's Temple Stone. The base is done how I would normally do them, which I've shown many a time on the other videos. Yeah, some of these paints, like other creams, you get a thicker consistency out of them. It comes out a little bit snotty, and then sometimes they're quite thin. Same way any drops bottle, you get it all galled up. Just gets annoying. Spend a while cleaning them up. Yeah, there's a chat gone. Oh no, we're still there. I went to Fat and Attack in January and dug out an old copy of Forlorn Hope and Once Upon a Time, Rules for Skirmish from their stand, their little corner. There was a right treasure trove. Yeah, Dave's got quite a bit of stuff like that, to be fair. I've got the Once Upon a Time rules and I've got Forlorn Hope. Never played any of them, to be fair. So at some point when we've got this demo finished, I might paint some ECW 28mm live. That might get me collection a bit further along. So, yeah, I used to do English Civil War reenactment. So enjoyed it. Was in the Sealed Knot in the 90s. Then left due to the usual thing, politics. Then I joined 17th century group that was called Siege Group, and that was a good giggle. A lot of them used to be first person, but I just went along to be pikeman, and then by default he ended up being CEO of the Royalist regiment that was in there, which was Vavassors. So yeah, I ended up commanding them. Dug out more history for them. They didn't realise Vavassors became Appleyards later on. Vavassors were formed out Cheshire way and went over to Ireland. So that was quite interesting. And then at some point, Vavassor, I think, died. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head at the moment. And then in Major, I think he was, or Lieutenant Colonel, was Appleyard. So he ended up taking control of the regiment. I believe they were at Naseby and met their demise, as far as I can remember, folks. Alright, slowly building up ECW armies in 15mm base for Forlorn Hope. Yeah, cool. I've got a few of the Lancers Mini before they disappeared. Yeah, are you seeing the Steel Fist ones? They're quite nice as well. So, I do like those. They look really tasty models to paint. I mean, I haven't done any 15mm for a number of years. Painted some Zulus once. Pretty easy to paint, but after you've done so many, I must admit they were fastest moving figures I've ever had, because I got that frustrated with them once I chucked them out the window. Just got sick of seeing them. So yeah, Zulus as paratroopers. I know. Yeah, I'm in here painting. Me other tables in there, living room where my wife is. But obviously I can't chat while she's watching the sacred soaps. Bless her. So I've come into this room at my other workbench. I've actually come into it more often, to be fair, because I can record at any point, but I only had one comfortable chair, and that's in here now. That's something else I've got to sort out. So I'm pretty lucky, really. She's pretty easy going to do, war gaming. Just get annoyed with it, because like all war gamers, we've got stuff everywhere. Yeah, I think I do push my luck some days, but hey ho, what is marriage for? She could hear me, she'd kick me so hard between my legs. Bless her. She's a sad lass, if I'm honest. Puts me in my place. But I can't say anything different, are we? Because we were live. It's public. If I said any different, I'd be dead. Bless her. So, yeah, another period of history I like is the Jacobite Rebellion, 45 to 46. I prefer the English Civil War set in Scotland, which is pretty cool. I read quite a lot of that in my teens. Got me quite interested in that. So I ended up learning to paint tartan. For those of you who don't know, I did some stuff for Warlord. They had their box set come out, oh god knows how long ago. It was the colour one, and the figures I painted are on the back of that. The same figures themselves were photoed and put individually on the website, but unfortunately the photos don't do them any justice, and that's not meant to be blowing smoke up my rear. It just didn't. So, and then there's some other bits and bobs on there that I've done as well. They came out all right. Quite enjoyed doing them. The only stress bit I had from it was having to paint all of them in a week. So, but getting there. So, oh, there you go. That's that bit. It does look really weird on camera, but hey, it'll look different again. So, I've got a spectator. Oh no, someone's disappeared. Have you got any ECW Warhammer rules? Oh no, what have I done? I have. I've got the ECW ones from Warhammer. But you know me, Sean, I've got much of a lot of stuff. What kept me away from Steel Fist was I also had some museum minis. Oh God, that's old. And they are supposed to be colossal next to Steel Fist. Then again, from 3 feet, it all might not matter. Yeah, I must admit, I do like the Steel Fist minis. I've not got any like, but they look really good. So I've done 15mm for years, to be fair. Gave up on that with my eyesight. So I'll back down to 2 viewers, folks. So maybe I should have given more notification. But then again, it might not be everybody's bag. And everybody probably got annoyed when we're flicking on and off with the channel, trying to sort things out. So all I'm going to do now is re-black that belt out that I've caught. I hope she must be about just hanging around.
No, you're all right. Carry on.
I'm carrying on.
I've got what I want on the telly.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Here's me.
Slaving.
Left to my own devices in the room.
I know, it's quite scary.
I know it is. It's worse that you're coming and watching me.
I'm not watching you, I'm just making sure you're still alive.
Shocking.
I haven't paid this month's insurance.
Yeah, see what I have to put up with, folks. Shocking.
Bye.
Yeah, go on, clear off. Right. That's all that redone. I really don't like how that's showing up, to be fair. Yeah, next time I'll use that other wash as well. I think what the Games Workshop does is stain it and not sit into the grooves as much. But there you go. Right, I'm going to do the sleeves now on the model. Cheers, Sean. So I'm going to do the sleeves on that. Put those 2 away so I don't do the mistake I made earlier today. Oh dear. Yeah, I've got virtually all of the first wave of the Duncan Rose 2 thin coats. I've got a couple of colours from the second wave. Right, here we go. I've not used these before, so this should be entertaining. Right. Move that out of the way, and that one. Now this is the test for myself. Here we go, folks. We've got 2 thin coats, Cold Corpse Blue. This is the base coat of the Triad. So we'll get the sleeves done on the figure. It's quite a shizzle. I managed to catch the flesh. Oh well. Sort that out shortly. That's quite an interesting colour. Like a blue-grey. I could think of several other colours, things I could use to paint that on, just as it is. Could darken or highlight it a different way. But what we're doing tonight is just trying to get things done in 2, 3 or 4 coats. There are supposed to be equivalents to these paints within the Games Workshop range. There is a chart somewhere, an equivalence chart on a website somewhere, but I've not found it. In fact, I've not even gone out looking for it, to be fair. So there we go. That's the sleeves with the first coat. So this is a learning curve for myself. So this should be entertaining. I want to touch that flesh up while I think about it, otherwise I'll forget. Right, you little git. There we go. Yeah, the flesh on this figure, I tried another way. Can't say I'm overly happy with it. There we go. I'm not trying to get snot out. Usual thing with dropper pipettes. Now it comes out all at once, or it don't come at all. It comes with no control. There we go. Don't tell me this is nearly empty. Might have to put some thinner in it. It'll be a job for another day. Yeah, I tend to have to do stuff while I remember. Otherwise, you'll come to bloody varnishing and I've realised, oh, I haven't done that. So, yeah, it would just below where that meets the cuff, but it was glaringly obvious if you looked at it at right angle. So how far are you getting with your Saxons, Sean? Not Saxons, I mean Vikings, sorry. Yeah, let's colour on this as wolf grey. Well, that's more like a colour for your Space Wolves. One thing I do find with these two thin coat paints, it's always better to add a bit of water to them as you're using them. I haven't done so far with this one. Such a naughty fellow. Yeah, there's buttons on the back of that cuff area. So I've got to paint some buttons in and all, which will be interesting. No, still on 2 viewers, which is a shame really. But there are other channels doing stuff tonight as well, and those people may be watching those. yeah, some of the colours from Tooth and Coats are quite useful for historical figures as well. So if I haven't got them all, I'll try and start getting the paints together for the second wave. Start getting them sorted, and then I'll see what colours come in that one. All in all, I am enjoying using them. So that's that colour there. Is the light? What's the lighting like from you for you guys? Because I'm looking at it, but then again the screen is at an angle. But I'm looking at it, and it's looking pretty dull to me. Not far from finishing them. Bloody hell, Sean. Paint chain me. How very dare you? Oh, my finest Yorkshire tea is going cold. It has gone cold. Yuck. Yeah. Now I'm concerned about that because that colour and that colour should be alright. I'll give it a quick test. I'm going to put some water in this for definite. Let's see how we get on with a bit of water in it. Actually, that's not a bad colour for highlighting. It's not stark either, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks particularly okay on the model. Yeah, you really can't tell under this light on the camera for some strange reason. So Ben Wardy, will you be at Partisan in October? And then myself and Sean will be. Just got to chase up, make sure we're still booked in. Lighting looks good. The colours look nice from my end. Cool. It's fine for me. Yo, Josh. How you keeping, mate? All right. I'm painting those wonderful figures I managed to pick up from War Games Foundry, those unreleased GW Spearmen. I'm still a novice, trying to sort angles up and for painting. It's been a nightmare for me. I get so frustrated. The air was nearly blue. Luckily it managed to sort itself out. Well, Sean had come online, so while I was just starting out live, I managed to double check everything was all right with him. So, but yeah, that's not a bad colour actually. That and 3 triad colours, very good for if you're doing Space Wolves. You probably could take a 4th highlight with another colour. I won't know what to use. Well, not at the moment, not without playing around. So So Josh, what will you be working on tonight or tomorrow or morning for yourselves? I don't know where it is in Japan. So I've got to admit, Josh, you've opened up an old path for me of wargaming. Yeah, might end up sliding Sean down a path as well from Garage Goblins. We'll see. Dear. But yeah, that blue's pretty good actually. Or blue grey, quite like that. So that's that bit. Right, now to do the buttons. I'm going to assume they're supposed to be little metal ones. And what I'm going to use is Cerakote silver. Yeah, I might actually try my mobile for recording one day. See how that works in the stand and everything. Oh, fuck. I hate painting buttons. I now need to try and touch that up with the finest line. We've gone with silver. Such frustration. Guess what, Josh? I'm actually doing a bit of filming that doesn't contain a yawning yet. Just about to grab a mug of tea and paint along with you, mate. Now make sure that mug of tea is Yorkshire tea, mate. Good to see you feeling better and doing some hobby today. Yeah, I'm okay. It's hard to explain sometimes. My head gets a bit fudged. And I get easily irritated. That day, the challenge of going shopping around a supermarket, and some days that can get really annoying for me. And sometimes I have a burst of honest opinion, and there's people out there that get a little bit upset when I decide that I need to tell them what I'm thinking of them. I don't call it antisocial behaviour personally. It's just that I just hate people that go up shop. Like, you know, the type of people that go into a shop, think, we need this, and then they spend minutes standing in front of a freezer, looking at everything, thinking, do I need that? Do I need that? Should I get this? Should I get that? Pick one item up, put it back down, look at something else, put that back down, and then before you know it, they're picking the original thing back up again, reading the packet again. It's like, come out the bloody way, I want to get my shopping done. You know. And then sometimes I stand there for such a length of time, I'll say, excuse me, and then if they don't understand excuse me, it's oi, shift. I just get irritated. I'm getting old, I think. Just get really frustrated with things. It's got worse as I've got older. A lot of my mates the other weekend, when I turned around and said I've got decorum, all bossed out laughing. I don't know why. I think I've got unique talents. So there we go, folks. Let's see if that can focus better. Come on. Right, there you go. It looks really harsh, everything on here. Don't know whether you can see the buttons on the sleeve. Can you see them? So maybe next time I'll put them in first and work around them. So, right, we're going to do the cowl. Now, I've got this piece of artwork on the back of a white dwarf, and it shows me that I am really wanting to do this sort of thing. I think it would look cool, but I'm going to be crafty and look around for some flags and see if I can find anything that matches similar to sort of these things, and then choose things accordingly. But I am going to do the cowl one off like that in the whitish cream colour, so I can go on with that. So, right, for that I'm going to use Duncan Boys paints again. So it's another triad, which is Dragon Fang to start off with. Laugh out loud, I remember that's my go-to joke now. Yeah, cheers, Sean. I won't mention anything about pigeons, will I? It's a private joke between me and Sean. We're away one weekend and the pigeons struck back. Bless them. Now, what I'm going to do is put the white on the opposite side to what was shown on that picture, because if I put the white next to the bandage, it's going to clash. So I'm going to put it on the other side. That squeaking is the magnifying lens. Yeah, I must admit, Josh, the splatter natter from last night, I really enjoyed. Nice interaction with the people that were on there as well. So, yeah, please stop. Yeah. All right, cheers. My good lady's bringing me a cuppa. So, it'd be a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. And no, I'm not from Yorkshire. Many people do ask. That's full of strange people. It's Yorkshire. Joking before somebody gets really offended. It's pretty quiet outside, I know, because normally I've got the window open, just keep it a bit cooler in here. Normally there's loads of screaming and shouting, general mayhem. Such a lovely place sometimes to live. I must admit it is entertaining when some of the locals who think the local hit squad walk round flexing their testosterone or their testicular fortitude. They're quite amazingly unclever, especially when they stand in the middle of the street telling whomever they're falling out with what they're going to do, what they're going to do with. So it does make me giggle. So that's that half done. I'm just going to finish the edge off on the underneath so we don't have too much black showing. Dear. Oh, cheers, Sean. Thanks for coming. And thanks for joining in. Much appreciated. So, talking brushes, I am going to grab some golden maple brushes, mate, and give them a go. Maybe you want to try them out yourself. Yeah, just let me know. PM me or direct message me, whichever posh way people call it on Facebook, and let me know where you get them from, mate. I'll probably give them a try. Happy to hear that the SN show, mate, and Mick lives in your neck of the woods. Yeah, he lives in Yorkshire. It's a Yorkshire lad, just up road actually, because I live north side of Nottingham, so which is always a bonus. This is going to be fun. This is where I squeal like a pig. Oh yeah, that's hot.
Maybe boiling water, you know.
Yeah, clever bugger.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll check if I can buy Yorkshire tea at the import store. I've never tried it before. Oh, it's a good strong proper cup of tea, mate. Strong cuppa. If it's good enough for Peachy, it may be good enough for me. What colour is that on there? I've got to look at that, that's it. I tell you, I'm losing my marbles. My eyes start starting to fizzle and all. I get quite tired quite quick nowadays, being an old fossil that I am. So Josh, are you planning to get to bring out your lead next year? Give us a heads up and I'll see if I can make it. So Ben Wardy, are you still on? Just give us a shout out, let me know you're still there. So what are you painting tonight, Josh? Here we go. Usual problem with drop it pipettes. It's galled up. Look at that lot. Bloody mess. I'll get that a quick clean while we're here. That really annoys me with these paints. I mean, these aren't the cheapest paints around. You'd have thought by now somebody with some common sense would have designed something that doesn't leave a mess like this every time. Mind you, the AK ones tend not to. They're pretty good for not splurging, well, filling the cap up anyway. Sometimes they do what every other one is, get a mad rush of paint coming out. But yeah. Right, the next tone is Skeleton Legion. Ah, good old Ben. Wardy. Cool. Glad you're still here, mate. So whereabouts you based, Ben Wardy? Do I know you off the War Game circuit? Have I met you? Yeah, I didn't give much notification I was doing this tonight. I didn't know whether I could be in the mood or not. To be fair, I'm glad I've done it. It's made me sit and paint for a bit. That's a pretty close colour to the other one again. I think with these two thin coats, they rely too much on using the wash before jumping up. And sometimes I don't like to use washers, but we're getting there with it. I mean, most of tonight I've used the two thin coats paints. I've used some Valio on early on these today. The basing I always do in Valio. That's so it's all, you know, got continuity with everything that I do and the scenery. So yeah, Josh, I was thinking at some point doing something with white undercoat. I've done that for years. Mumming and ahhing. So I've got paint on my finger from somewhere. Look, it's dry, not going all over the figure. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see it changing or not. It's too close. Even going over it a second time, it's hardly any different. I think what I'm going to do in a minute is do a bit of a cheat. We'll see. This may or may not work. It may lead to me swearing quite profusely. What a big word, profuse. Yeah. Right. I don't know whether you can see that, folks. I want to see what it looks like after I put the next level on. Space Hulk's cool. For what it's worth, the MIG paints guy said to hold dropper bottles, excuse me, straight to get the paint out. That stops the nozzles getting messy like that. In Lancashire, I don't go the circuit much. Just went to Vapnatac and Phalanx this year. It was my first two shows. Cool. Vapnatac's not a bad show, to be fair. It's quite inclusive. It's more about demo games, which is cool. You get a few different traders there. compared to others that are usually on the circuit. So, and it's just up road for me. I think you're talking about 20-25 minutes riding for that. So we'll attempt to go to that one. It's also the same place as the old Partisan, which I always like that show. I get to catch up with quite a lot of people I know off the circuit, you know, traders and stuff. Some of them are good old mates that I've known for quite a while. Oh, sorry about that. Nick from North Star. Yeah, he's a character. So that's some giggles with him. Dave off of the who carries the Perry miniatures. He's a good old stick. One of the lads that works on there. Obviously, I see Dave from what do you call it, Caliber Books as well. Sometimes we catch up where we can there. So, like I say, he's quite busy at that one. What else do I see? Oh, there's also Mr. Dave Imrie and them guys that do demo games. They are really, really talented guys. If you ever see Bodkins advertised at a War Games show and they're doing a demo, do go and check those guys out. They are absolutely amazing. And the beauty about it, they're all approachable and they're not pretentious neither. They'll sit and chat if they're not too busy playing the game. Yeah, really nice guys, if I'm honest. I mean, Dave Imrie I've got to know through another friend of mine. He's a really nice bloke, to be fair. He also owns Claymore Miniatures. Go check them out, they're really nice models as well. So, and then there's Ian McDonald. Sometimes I see him. He used to stand at the shows with his range of figures, which is Flags of War. He does the Jacobite Rebellion range, which are really, really lovely. Best ones on market, in my opinion. You know, he does those lovely sets of flags for various different periods. So again, go check his site out. Very, very useful site, to be fair. He also does Border Reavers figures in 28, which are lovely as well. Yeah, I do quite like his stuff. Like Claymore Miniatures are really, really nice as well. There's a couple of figures in there I'm tempted to use in this Bretonian Fantasy Army. I know I won't be able to use them at GW. Be very doubtful if I could get away with using these. But then again, they're all young there. Don't know their own history. Once when I was playing, they said that my figures weren't from GW. I turned around and says, no offence, mate, but he was probably still crawling down your dad's spine when I bought these. So that didn't go down very well. Poor little offended chap. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm probably going to put a touch of white into that last colour. That was Vampire Fang, I think it's called. Yeah. Right, what I'm going to use to save mixing, I'm going to see if this works all right. And it's Ivory Tusk. Let's see if it works all right as a fourth highlight. Yeah, talking of Space Hawks, Josh. Yeah, I've the original ones like this. and the very first ones like that. I've started digging them out. Bring out your leads. Made that rather naughty. Dug out the first edition of 40k. Never played it. Had it for years and years and years when it first came out. I bought another copy, one of the reprint copies as well, and I think I might be dabbling in a bit of that, even if it's just for painting at the moment. So yeah, so I'm being a bit quiet. I'm just highlighting these very high points on here. Yeah, has anybody got any tips out there for photographing miniatures? That's something else I need to work on. I can use a mobile phone for the camera on there. But what about lighting and setup? If anybody could help with that, that'd be great. I know you do it, Josh. There we go. That's highlighted that a lot better. So, Ben, what do you think you'll be coming down to Partisan in October? If you do, come and say hello. It's always nice to put faces to names. Oh dear. Excuse me. Old age. I went to bring out your lead and bumped into a couple of people there that are on the channel, that follow the channel. Yeah, as you can see, Josh, I'm not a super fast painter, which is not really good for the hobby, really. You need to speed things up at times. So what am I doing now? Marine blue, very much like ultramarine blue. I'm going to do the other side of the cowl in that. I keep disappearing off screen, I'm sorry. It's just that I like to get comfortable with the way I'm painting, especially when I'm doing stuff in between stuff that I've painted. I don't want to catch anything. I do know this blue is going to need, once I've done all three colours on it, it's going to need a light wash over it, stop it from being so stark, which I'll probably do off camera, but I don't know where my light blue wash is, or the blue wash that I need is. Yeah. I'll not be long before I'm packing up. Probably going to finish this blue off, if I'm honest, and then I'll come back tomorrow in the morning. Probably do some stuff to camera, not live, and try and get this finished off. So the next colour I'm using is Elysium Blue. Which is quite stark actually compared to that other blue. We'll roll with it for the time being. I was going to say I can put another wash over it. later on. God blimey, it is a lot different. Hope you can see that, folks. So, Josh, what's best time for you to view my stuff? I started at 8 p.m. over here. I know it's a weekday, so I weren't expecting a lot of people work, but what's best time if I was to do another live for you to be able to catch it, mate? Obviously, if you're not busy. It's just nice to get some interaction. I mean, Ben Ward is, it's been nice that you've joined us as well. So, just hope you've found it okay. Ideal. Actually, as this blue's drying, it's not too bad, to be fair. I still will probably put a very thin wash on over the top, because I don't know what it's going to look like when I put this third colour on. All in all, I'm quite happy with it at the moment. Speed is not important. Yeah, I tried 40k last year and it was fun. Yeah, cool. I saw it being played at Bring Out Your Lead, to be fair. Speed is not important, just enjoy your time, mate. Yeah, it's been good chatting. Yeah, it has, Ben. Waddy, whatever. It's alright. I'm just from North Notts. We don't know how to talk, right? You know what I mean? Read. Excuse me. Actually, I don't think I might do a wash over this blue. We'll see what it's like after I've done this final highlight. Because where I'm looking at it, you guys probably can't tell, but that is quite a nice blue. So I know it's different to that one, but you lose colour when you do print anyway. And I've done it the opposite way around, like I said, because of the bandage. So here we go with the final highlight, which is Celestial Blue. Excuse me. Now I'm going to add some water to this because I don't want it to go on too stark. This is a bit that makes me nervous. So I don't use these paints a lot, so I don't know how these colours clash, or I mean, they seem okay. Just like with everything, when you're painting, you just don't know. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. I'll do it for a fine highlight. So I know what paints that Josh uses, because obviously I watch your channel, Josh. Ben, what paints do you use when painting, mate? I've used all sorts over the years. I've got Valio, I've got AK Interactive 3G, as they call it now. got Old Games Workshop, New Games Workshop, Coat d'Arms, yeah, you name it, I've tried it. P3 paints I used to have, the old ones, I know they've just been released. I mean, I must admit they were really good colours, the P3 range. I don't know what the new ones are going to be like. Not heard any reviews on them yet. So, yes, this boost turned out alright as a final highlight, to be fair. There you go. So pretty cool. Enjoying these. I'm enjoying myself tonight actually painting. Yeah, Josh, what's that painting challenge that's about at the moment? You were about last night? Because I'm thinking of having a bash at it, to be fair. Just any day, mate. I'm usually awake at 5 AM here. Bloody hell, you're dead bad as me. Why don't you yawn? Right? I yawn all the time. Today was a good time for me to catch you. I love the look of the Duncan Rose paint, mate. And see you have the racket from Sarissa. Yeah, I buy that so I can keep them all together. I don't even know what's fully in the range, so I tend to buy the the stand and then get the paints to go in it. Valier with a few Citadel colours thrown in. The local shop had a sale for £1 a pot. Bargain. What a bargain, chap. Yeah, regarding the Duncan Rose paints, Josh, they're pretty alright actually. They're not cheap. Nearly £4 a bottle. But foundries are about the same price anyway. Well, full first wave, buying 2 of the colours. Yeah, I'm enjoying using them, to be fair. Once you find out which ones are thicker than others, but yeah, they're good. So that's the blue finished. The only problem is with having just the first wave, you haven't got much choice of browns, so it makes it a bit difficult. I am going to do a brown now though. I probably will end up having to do a wash over the top because it is a bit garish. Right, here we go. Cuirass leather. I'm going to do the belts now. The one for the shield strap and the one that's going around his waist. And then this will be the last lot I'm doing, I'm afraid, folks, because I'm starting to flag. Excuse me. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Chicka, wow, wow. Yeah, I think I'm going to cheat a bit on the heraldry as well. I should be ordering something and I'll show you what I do. There's also a good way of hiding that the fact that they are transfers. Yes, I'll be using transfers. Such a naughty fellow. But I ain't got time to sit here pulling my hair out and making the hair blue to do freehand. Best person I've ever seen do freehand heraldry is Dave Andrews. Bloody natural at it, to be fair. take him outside and make him paint all mine. Owsley, bless him. He's a good mate, to be fair, good bloke. If you ever get to meet him, folks, yeah, not big-headed, not pretentious, genuinely nice bloke. I've had some good laughs with him in the past, so I think I've been his personal culture shock. Bless. Sound geezer, really sound geezer. So that was the Cuirass leather on first. Bloody hell, £5 a bottle. Chuff for me. That's like going into a bar and somebody taking your trousers down without a please or a thank you. Hopefully that don't get me banned from YouTube. But it's meant to be a sarcastic joke. Right, so now I'm going to try and highlight this, and I'm going to be using the boar hide. But as I say, there are equivalent colours from GW. So basically I'm just edging, leaving a few dark marks, especially where the puncture holes are for the buckle. And then the belt for this shield strap. I'm probably off screen again, yeah. Sorry folks. Basically I'm highlighting this, leaving the dark of the base colours showing in areas. What you need to do is keep a nice sharp point on your brush. This one's about at it. I'll have to get out on the street with my begging bowl and, you know, say, please get some new brushes, some money for some new brushes. You know what folks, I've really enjoyed tonight, given the incentive to crack on with this figure. Nearly 2 hours, I know it's shocking, but what have I done? Done the cowl, the gambeson, the sleeves, the buttons, this leather work. Like I say, I'm not a fast painter, but yeah, I've given me the incentive folks to get stuck in with my painting tonight. So now this colour is a really weird colour. It's like a salmony, dark salmon colour. This definitely needs a bit of watering because it's come out thick. And this is where I need to keep my hands steady. Just do faint highlights. So was it about 9 o'clock UK time, Josh, when you managed to tune in? Because what I can do is I can always aim to start then, or half an hour before then, so other people can be here when you join us. So yeah, it's been quite entertaining with the channel, watching numbers go up and down like a yo-yo. Well, not yo-yo, it goes up by 1, 2 and then drops again by 1, 2 and then comes back up again. So that's been quite bamboozling. People can do what they want. So just hoping to build my numbers up slowly. Just be a contribution to the community more than anything else. Like I say, you guys are keeping me focused. Some days my head's a bit of a shed and I have to be careful. I've had issues in the past to do with mental health, and it still crops back. But when I go, I go. And there's no way of coming back for a long time. So I have to be very, very, very careful. That's why I tend to speak my mind a lot and be very blunt. Otherwise, I sit and I fester, then it manifests itself into absolute carnage via my mouth. I'm getting into a lot of trouble. Best thing about our generation is that we grew up in a time where no one was easily offended. Nowadays, though, it's a joke. Yeah, I've done my fair share of upsetting people, especially when I've given a piece of my mind, or when they've been a bit too, well, you can't say this, you can't say that. My usual line is, because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. I'm big enough and man enough to admit if I'm wrong. Some people need to be big enough and mature enough to sit back and take criticism. Crikey, what criticism I got when I was younger. I'll tell you something, it set me up for life proper. My dad died when I was very young as well. I won't say very young, when I was 14. I soon learned to look after myself and stand my ground. I was quite timid when I was younger. Now, yeah, completely different. But at my age, I really need to start calming down. Just become more grumpier. I think that's what I need to be. Grumpy, but less confrontational. Oh, I don't know. The decisions in life. Yeah, it's a good job you weren't in the room or live when I was blowing a gasket earlier. Trying to work out which was the best way to record this. I'm just hoping when it goes up onto YouTube, it's at the right angle for watching. Because it's been a bloody nightmare. Right, folks. Unfortunately, that's me done for tonight. So that's where we've got to anyway. Don't know whether you can see the buckle on there. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll definitely be finishing tomorrow. I'll probably do a piece to camera as I would normally do. And then tomorrow night I may go live again. So just watch out for me, folk. But we'll see. Hang on. You're live. I know I'm live. Why has that just done that? Bizarre. I just had a "you're live" come up. Right, don't worry about numbers going up and down. It's quite common, mate. Yeah, between 9 PM. Oh, bloody heck. Don't worry about numbers going up and down. Keep positive and surround yourself with positivity, mate. Yeah, I try to. But sometimes I get a bit frustrated. But that's me. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Josh. Much appreciated. It's nice to sit here and be able to interact with somebody. Ben Wardy, thanks for joining, mate. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave any more comments below the video if you're allowed to do that, or on the end of this. but it's been, you know, quite enjoyable for myself. So thanks very much, folks, for joining. I know Sean has to do a run in the morning. Take the children off to work up the chimneys, like all children should still be doing. I have done. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, cheers, mate. Well, you take care, Ben, and hopefully we'll catch you another time. All right, then, folks. I'm going to shoot. Take care. Bye.